Howdy.
Howdy.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm doing well.
We have spent an hour.
We have spent way too long.
One solid hour for your listening pleasure on Cricket Patrol.
On Cricket Patrol. There is a cricket that was, we thought, in the building.
Massively interfering with the audio.
Turns out not in the building, but very close.
Yeah, it was right outside the door.
Underneath the threshold.
So we've spent an hour searching out and destroying that cricket.
Destroying crickets. Real quick. What do they do?
I don't know, man. They provide food.
That's it, right?
For wildlife.
But they don't have like a thing, like worms, like earthworms, night crawlers, red worms. Like they do things to the soil. Like they create new soil. They compost things. They make stuff better.
Yeah.
Do crickets do anything like that?
Yeah, actually, crickets. Well,
You're
on top of being like
I can already tell.
one of the largest food sources for wildlife.
Yeah, they are a huge food source.
Okay,
I understand
so right
that.
there. That's something. It's the circle of life, Jerry.
I just feel like they could, find something else to eat.
The lizard eats the cricket. Something eats the lizard. It dies. It goes in the ground. Something grows. A tree grows.
Not from a cricket.
It's all crickets, Jerry.
It's not all crickets.
But let's talk about a little bit more about crickets because have you ever heard of cricket flour?
No.
Very, very popular.
Oh, where they like grind it up and you use it.
It's the sustainable food source that's going to be the future of our great world.
Crickets?
But yes, it's huge.
Because it's a huge source of protein?
It's a huge source of protein. It's environmentally friendly. They're projecting like down the road because there's going to be a massive amount of people and not enough resources to feed those people.
Right.
We'll go to things like cricket flour, which is already very common. You can probably buy cricket flour at the grocery store.
Really?
I don't know, but it's common. Like people use it. It's not like it's something like crazy thing anymore. It used to be, but
yeah, I knew that people were eating crickets. And grasshoppers and stuff.
Ate crickets before. I've had some chocolate covered grasshoppers in my day. Have you?
I think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do believe I have.
Or maybe a katydid or two.
Never ate a katydid.
Or a katydidn't. Whatever.
Yeah,
either way.
Katie didn't.
But yeah, no, cricket flour is like super common right now, and they're like apparently they're super environmentally friendly because they don't consume a lot. They multiply very quickly. Right. They're very packed with protein.
Do you know what a cricket eats?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
Why don't we know that?
I don't know. Like, is it plant based? Yeah,
they must. Yeah, they're vegans. Vegan crickets.
Are you kidding?
Well, I don't know. I don't think they're like decompositioners. I don't think they eat like dead things. They're not.
No,
like,
I don't think so either. But I don't think
what do grasshoppers eat?
I don't think they're a meat eater. Grasshoppers absolutely eat grass or some sort of vegetation.
Oh yeah, okay. They don't eat like mites or aphids. That's ladybugs.
Yeah, ladybugs will attack your aphids.
Vicious.
They are vicious. But don't get confused with Japanese or Asian beetles.
Yeah. Oh.
The Asian beetles are those little orange.
Asian lady beetles.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Those little orange ones with the dots.
And they stink and they bite.
Yeah. That's the bad part. I didn't realize they bit until I was like, oh, look at this thing. And it bit me on the arm.
If you just even touch one or they get scared, they make this like terrible smelling. Ugh.
Yeah. It's like
the worst smell ever.
It's the skunk of the insect world.
Yeah. I used to live in an old house where those things apparently like they like live in your windows.
Yeah.
So like, and they're only out part of the year.
It's like right now.
And they
fall.
Like come out of your windows and it's terrible.
But have you noticed a decline in them?
Big time, yeah.
There's a huge decline in them because for years they would cover buildings.
And good riddance. Yeah, see Go back to Asia.
Bye, Felicia.
Crickets are a variety of insect with long antennae and legs that resemble grasshoppers. They eat plants and even meat on every continent except Antarctica. Crickets are best known for their chirping sounds, of course.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Which help them find mates and scare off other male crickets. They use their wings. Have you ever seen a cricket fly?
No, crickets don't fly. They just hop.
They have wings.
It's only to make the sound.
They're sold. That's another thing about crickets. They're sold for food, for like reptiles. What would people feed their reptiles without crickets?
Then only farm them.
They are farmed. They're a farmed. I thought I got that cricket.
I thought you had them too. Apparently there was more than one.
Crickets are omnivores, meaning they eat plants and animals. They prefer rotting plant matter, but they will eat leaves, fungi, good fungi, and fruit. So that's it. That's cricket talk. Cricket talk.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough of it, I guess. I just didn't know really what they do. I guess they are just food for other things.
Yeah, and soon to be food for humans. By the time we're old and gray,
will there be any crickets left?
we'll be eating the crickets. That's going to be our main. We're going to have cricket steaks.
Well, that's not true.
Tiny little steaks. You got to get
Cricket
this
steaks.
little fork and knife, and you get down there.
An eye of round.
Would you like a drumstick? Cut its leg off
I
there.
love a good cricket shank. Maybe a little asabuco cricket.
Yeah, I mean, how many crickets do you got to grind up to just get a cup of cricket flour?
Yeah, it's
One
a lot.
cup.
It'd have to be a lot. It'd have to be like exponential.
I've heard.
That's what I was
I've
trying to
heard
do.
some people. I've never used it personally, but I've heard some people say that they've used it, and it tastes just like regular flour. So.
Really?
Yeah, and you know it doesn't.
No, it
So-
doesn't. It probably.
Every time people say that something tastes just the same,
You've always been this way because I remember talking about deer, and I think deer is good, like venison is good.
Yeah.
And you're always like, no, it's not.
It's not
like
good.
you're just saying you think it's good because everyone else says they think it's good. Like, no, I honestly like it, but you've been adamant
no, deer is not good.
about how terrible venison is.
Yeah, it's not good. That's why every single person mixes it with pork fat.
Well, it's only because it doesn't have its own fat. You would do that with beef too.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't
And
have its
pork.
own fat, it sucks.
Okay. Yeah, the fat in
Have you-
venison is not good.
Like you like cricket. That damn cricket's getting in my
I
mind.
know.
It's
It's
drilling
into your brain.
my skull.
I know. I feel
you
it as
like
well.
deer steak, like a backstrap?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, it's very good. Gary,
It's
I remember like the best one I ever had, and Amy would say the same thing. Is Gary had shot a deer, and then in his little like block building in front of their house, there's a wood stove, an old wooden stove, and on the top you can put food. It's in this like little compartment. You open a door and you can put food in there and cook it. And he'd put like freshly butchered backstrap or any type of venison, and he'd put it in there with butter and onions and some salt and pepper, cover it up in tinfoil, put it inside the wood oven till it was done. I don't know how long, but he'd bring it out and cut it up. It was so freaking good. It is so good. Yeah, it was. You would have liked it. You wouldn't have even known it was venison.
We had this party once back in the day, back in my party days.
I believe it was a Wednesday.
Yeah, we had a thing called Shopsgiving.
Oh, yeah?
It was a Thanksgiving party.
We have Friendsgiving.
In a shop.
Is it Friendsgiving? What do we have?
You don't even know what your own party is?
We have it every single year, too. Well, not us, but at Seed and Tufts.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, we had Shopsgiving, so everybody came there. It was
Drinksgiving. I
Drinksgiving.
just thought of it. Go ahead. Sorry.
It was kind of like a potluck. Everybody was bringing stuff. We were doing stuff.
Yeah.
So one of our friends, the Duck,
Ducky.
yeah, he spent all day, I'm saying all day, slaving over making this venison stroganoff.
Okay.
And like an inordinate amount of time to make this dish, right?
Okay.
And like cooking preparation and like a lot of bragging and bodacious claims
Yeah.
throughout the entire process. And just like somebody who's like serious, like mind of a chef type stuff,
yeah.
going crazy. And at the end of it, we pulled it off, whatever the pan he had it in, he get it out. We served everything served up. And every single one of us took one bite and we're like, whoa, that's the worst thing I've ever
Oh,
eaten.
really?
Yeah.
Were you guys like open about it?
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody was like, this is not good.
Yeah. Even him. It wasn't good.
Oh, he didn't like it
No,
either.
I think we tossed the whole dish.
Maybe he got bad meat.
Well, it could be. Because
You know what I mean?
we made it out of venison. So that...
Well, I know, but it doesn't necessarily mean it. You can get venison that is not good. If it was like shot in the belly and,
Right.
you know, like the meat got tainted, or if it takes a really long time to die,
Yeah.
the meat doesn't taste as good.
My favorite thing to do with venison,
There's a lot of
because I like venison. I like the idea of it. I don't think it tastes good, but I like a good like grass-fed. I know they eat corn too, but like grass-fed. It's healthier, right? It's a lean animal.
Right. Organic.
It has muscular structure.
And non-GMO.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, well. So I like the idea of that. And so what I've done in the past, like last year, I think I got one cut up, or 2 years ago, and I just got it all ground up into ground venison. Not with pork fat, just ground up.
Wait. So you're actively buying venison, but yet you don't like it?
Yeah, because I think it's healthy.
Oh, okay. So you're just eating shit that you don't like.
Actively buying it. I had a deer.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't going to not butcher that deer.
You didn't shoot it, did you?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then why did you have
I
it?
procured it. It was shot on my land.
Okay.
And it was given to me.
All right.
And I thought, well, I'll just get it all ground up. So I got it ground up. And I found it great to use in like spaghetti sauce.
Chili.
Or tacos, chili, stuff like that where you're putting a lot of seasoning in anyway. It doesn't really matter what the meat tastes like all that much.
I would agree.
And for that, I think it's great. And I think it's a healthy alternative. I like lean game.
And deer sausage. Like deer sticks. That's so good.
I mean, because it's 50% pork fat.
Yeah.
Again.
And then the other 50% is deer.
Yeah. I mean, but
it's
it would
good.
be better if it was pork sausage. It was 100% pork.
Not really. I have
Speaking of
sausage.
pork, we have a sponsor for this show, or a sponsor for our entire podcast.
Forever.
Everybody wasn't aware. It's there on our website. Mm-hmm. It's Seed and Top Show Pigs.
Seed and Top Show Pigs.
They produce some of the finest show pigs in the grand state of Illinois.
The greater Grundy, LaSalle, Livingston, Will,
You just
Kendall
say the whole Midwest.
area.
Midwest's premier hog show pig breeder.
League. Is it a league?
Yeah.
I think it's a league.
A league of extraordinary gentlemen.
A league of extraordinary show pigs.
And he has graciously discounted us some fine pork.
Yeah, which I buy from him basically every year anyway.
Too. But and I didn't need any. I was kind of full up, but he kind of strong-armed me into the purchase.
I think I did, didn't I? I was like, come on, Chris, throw some of that cash out. And you did. Because then that's when he said, like, listen, I'll cut you a deal.
Yeah.
I need to get rid of this fucking pork.
Yeah. So, I mean, temporarily, I will forgive the non-Patreon subscription.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, temporarily.
In lieu of pork.
in lieu of pork. It's actually in the fine print. It says it.
If we have any other listeners out there that just want to send us gifts.
Speaking, actually, we did get more gifts.
Oh, we did.
Yeah. I'm drinking one right now. It's called a Yingling.
Yingling.
They are not sponsoring us. If you want to, you can, because I like the
I believe
beer.
that's America's oldest brewery.
190 years, it says.
Wow.
Brewing good times for 190 years. Wow. It's very good.
You believe them.
And that was this was gifted to us by a one Erica Fry.
Ooh, the Duchess of Snarf?
She is a Duchess of Snarf, and I'll call her that to her face.
Well, as of right now, she's the Duchess of Snarf.
The Duchess of Snarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also gave me a bunch of Batman stuff.
Yeah,
I was super excited about.
That you wouldn't let your kids play with.
I will not. It's actually in my office up on the shelf, and they're not playing with any of them. But to be fair,
you could enlighten the audience, listening audience.
First I got a Batmobile from like 95, so that would have been like Batman Forever Batmobile, I believe. I had it as a kid too. I had this exact same one, and I saw it, and I knew I had it. My parents were at my house actually when this was dropped off, and I was holding it, and I said, I had this. Do you remember that I had this? And my dad's like, yeah, I remember. I was like, why did you throw all my stuff away?
Yeah,
like I could have had one of these.
My mom kept all of my stuff.
And then
I have all of it.
He made a pretty valid point, and he said, and he looks at me and he says, you see all that over there? Because we've got toys everywhere in our house. He's like, you see all that? He's like, remember you said that when you're going to throw all of those in the dumpster.
I won't let Marley throw more.
And I was like, you got a point. 'Cause all of our stuff is like junk. It's not the same type of toys.
Well,
like the toys that we have.
So the other day, Marley threw it. Cash had a turtle van, a new one.
Oh yeah, don't get rid of that.
But
stuff.
a new one.
Well,
and
is
she
it a
tossed
problem?
it. Like a bunch of the pieces were missing, and I'm like, no, you can't. Well, what do you care? Just throw it away. Most of it's missing. Nobody plays with it. I'm like, because my mom kept my turtle van,
right?
And now Cash plays with that.
But I feel like I took care of toys differently as a child than my kids do.
Well, you're there. they're smaller than when you were probably playing with the toys that you're thinking of.
You think?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Graham is, and
It's
maybe
so much
Grant,
different,
but
and
really,
maybe not all kids are the same, but like the way we played with toys as children is different than the way my children play with toys.
Yeah, big time.
Like, I feel like all the action figures and that kind of stuff has kind of been replaced by like Nerf guns and
Other things
like that.
I don't even know.
We had Nerf guns too, so I shouldn't say that, but
I just
don't see them
think
playing with like the way I played with Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean?
right. That's all I played with was like Ninja Turtles, obviously Batman stuff.
I had Ghostbuster, the Ecto.
Yeah, I had
one,
Spawn characters.
Yeah.
So all of these things, I guess I would have been 8, 9, 10, like 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe around in that area.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe 10-year-olds aren't even playing with that kind of stuff anymore.
Probably not.
But I was at 10, for sure.
Absolutely was, because at 10 I would have been, what was that? 97.
Yeah.
I was 10. So I was absolutely playing with that stuff because Batman, all the Batman movies were just coming out really, 95, 96, 97. And I was obsessed with all of that stuff. But I feel like my kids, like
feel like a woman.
You do. You look like one. A good, nice woman. Anyway, I don't feel like my kids play the same way. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I feel like they're more destructive. I don't know why.
I feel like you were destructive.
I know I was. I just don't realize. I probably just don't realize.
Didn't you
severity.
systematically destruct an abandoned house in Verona?
Yeah, I did, but I was told to. So I did what I was told, boss.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this.
What's
nonsense.
the meat and potatoes?
The news, Jerry.
I do have a few news stories here. There was one that came out. Oh, speaking of Batman, there is a movie that Matt Reeves is making.
Yeah.
It's called The Batman.
The more and more I hear about it, the more and more excited I get.
I know. So they came out with 2 more castings. Well, one potential, one confirmed casting.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Right. Yep.
Reprising
Danny
her role.
DeVito as the Riddler. He's just switching it. No, Jeffrey Wright.
Who is that?
He's from Westworld.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
one of the doctors on Westworld.
I love that guy.
He is confirmed to play Commissioner Gordon.
Perfect.
I think it'll be really great. Actually.
He's perfect for that role.
Yes.
He even looks like him in Westworld.
He really does.
Kind of wears his glasses out on his nose.
Yep. Yeah, he
It's
does.
that guy, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So he's confirmed to play Commissioner Gordon. I think that's a great pick. And then it is reported that Jonah Hill will play a villain, but it's not guaranteed whether it'll be the Riddler or the Penguin.
Okay.
But the report was leaning more towards the Riddler.
Okay. So I read that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a fan of Jonah Hill?
Yeah, and David Seedentop sent me the article, actually.
I'm a big fan of Jonah Hill.
I'm a huge fan of Jonah Hill.
Didn't he win an Oscar?
Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street,
Maybe.
was it that?
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a phenomenal actor. I mean, going from Superbad to where he's at now.
Yeah.
I mean, Superbad was his first film, and he was the goofy fat kid.
Yeah.
You know, he is incredible, and he made some really good friends with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he's great. I think he'd be great in the role of either of those.
I don't know how I feel about it, honestly, though.
I feel like he'd be a good Riddler. I
see, and I was gonna say the.
I know everybody's
everybody's
been saying Penguin because he used to be fat.
I wasn't necessarily thinking because he's fat. I think the character lends more to the way he acts.
He's a comedian, comic actor.
In how many movies? I mean, he's been in so many movies.
I feel like the Penguin, you got to get somebody more like crime bossy. My favorite iterations of the Penguin are where he's like a crime boss.
Yeah, in Gotham.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he is to an extent in Gotham, although Gotham's kind of so out struggling there. I mean more like in like No Man's Land.
Yeah.
In some of the comic runs, but in the novel, Greg Rucka novel, No Man's Land, which I recommend. It's also a comic series.
Yep.
He is portrayed more as like a mafia boss, or like a kingpin of crime. like DC's Kingpin. And I like that take on him, not like the ones that are over the top. He's more there's certain runs like that where he's a little more grounded in reality than some of the other villain characters.
Right.
And I like that take on him. And the Penguin's just kind of like an opportunistic nickname more than it has any.
Yeah.
More than like Danny DeVito.
Right. That's a completely different take on it.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I guess Danny DeVito's kind of a crime boss in Batman Returns.
And he was like political, trying to be political and get like a
he ran for mayor, right?
Yeah.
And he also becomes mayor in Gotham and in the comics as well. I mean, there's a reason why they tap that storyline. I think it's
right.
I like that. I like that idea of he's like kind of a businessman, kind of a rich guy,
tycoon, if you will.
Yeah. So I like it. I mean, it's kind of a mix between a Lex Luthor and a Kingpin type person.
Yeah, he is kind of like Lex Luthor in a way. I could see that just
loosely.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but I see where you're tying it all together with that.
So, but anyway, I get back to it. I feel like Jonah Hill, for me, would probably be better at the Riddler. If I was him, I feel like the Penguin could be a media role, but they've done a lot more recently over the last 20 years with the Riddler in comics and video games, I think. Penguin's kind of been.
I'm just not a huge Riddler guy. He's never been one of my favorite.
I love the guy who played him in Gotham.
The only
that was good. That was a good take.
Oh yeah, I did see that part. I haven't watched all of Gotham, so I'm not quite up on those storylines, but I do remember that guy. Yeah. He was like a scientist, right?
Yeah, he was
like a forensic.
Yeah, forensic. Yep, that's right.
Scientist.
Scientist.
I did like the portrayal of the Riddler in the Arkham games.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. I've always liked Jim Carrey as the Riddler, but it's not a character I would ever put in a movie again.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that.
What about like in the Zack Snyder run? Interesting take.
It is an interesting take. It's okay.
I think it borrows a little from the video games.
It just doesn't do it for me. I think there's way better villains out there.
I don't know, but this movie is really shaken up. I saw something recently after that they were talking about the new DCEU.
Yeah.
And how it's going to rival the MCU. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen in the MCU with their loss of Spider-Man here. I think that's going to be destructive.
They're going to have to they got to rewrite like everything, don't they?
I think it's a big problem. I really do. But the DCU now, basically they were saying, hey, we got Matt Reeves. We got, that's a dog.
There's a dog. Watch in that window back there. You'll see him jump up there.
They got James Gunn now. Yeah. And they got...
James Gunn's huge. I think he could be really, really good.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams is
apparently jumping on board as like the major showrunner type situation.
Well,
because, like the Kevin Feige, isn't he? Is he being like the producer standpoint?
Because AT&T had bought Bad Robot.
Robot.
And now he's going to be huge into Warner Brothers
stuff. So, I mean, they could really rival. I mean, JJ...
I hope they start putting movies out sometime soon.
Yeah.
Like something other than Shazam last year.
Or like the 6 years it's taken them to make Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, the second one, that was supposed to come out, I thought, last year. And then now it's not until like 2 years from now.
Drop us
it's annoying.
Drop us a line or a review or something if these crickets are bothering you. Because we might need to...
Oh, because they bother the shit out of me.
All right. What else you got for news? I got a couple things too.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of...
Hey, guys, we're going to try and do something a little bit different this week. We're going to try...
This is a 1 hour episode.
We're going to do a 1 hour episode. So we're going to give it a shot. We've had a lot of people say to us, hey, we love the podcast.
Cut her down a notch.
Try and do it in an hour. So we're going to try it. We're going to try it for like the next 3-4 weeks, 4, 5, 6 shows.
Yeah.
And we're just going to see if we like it first. We're going to see if fans respond to it. We're going to see if our numbers fluctuate at all. And if you don't like it, let us know. Personally, we like the longer ones because we can dive deep and we don't have to sit here and like be super formatted. We can be unstructured. But you know, it's a long listen, obviously.
It is a long listen. I think keeping listeners engaged is a hard thing to do with a 2-hour podcast unless you have something guaranteed for them in the last half.
Yeah. So what we're going to try and do is record on our recording nights. We're going to do like a 1 hour that's going to be like news and what we're watching and just kind of more chit chat.
Yep.
And then we're going to do like our second hour is going to be the next week's podcast where we're going to probably like cover a topic more in depth.
A very in-depth topic.
And not do like what we're watching, stuff like that.
Right. There will be no news, no what you're watching. It'll just be on the topic and that's it. That's all you're going to get. Maybe. I think it'll be great.
Maybe more.
I guarantee you we will stray from the topic at some point. But it's a new format that we're going to try. I think it could work really well.
Yeah.
But we're going to find out. We'll do at least 4 like this.
I do like the idea too that it gives us the opportunity to pick a topic and then spend an entire time diving deep into that.
Yeah. Yep. Because even in the 2-hour window, I think we were kind of rushed.
Yeah, because we get lost.
We would talk so much in the beginning, and then the last hour we're trying to cram it in.
Yeah.
And that's why we had some episodes that were 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
2 hours and 30 minutes almost.
So we'll move this right along.
So anyway, Warner Brothers, we were talking about them earlier with the whole Batman thing. They put out a statement saying that HBO Max will not change anything with the DC Unlimited or DC Universe streaming service.
So it is going to be folded in the mix though.
Yep. It's going to be folded in the mix.
Do you understand how much better it is for people like us that subscribe to both?
I know.
Because that is saving us like $7 a month.
I'm very excited about that. But then on the other hand, there's so many other streaming services that are coming along that are going to screw you over.
The only one I'm interested in though is Disney Plus. I mean, NBC Universal has one, but
ABC is going to have one.
What's going to be on NBC?
I don't know, but I think regular television is going to get screwed over by that. Like they're not going to go. If you have another Office or another Parks and Rec or anything like that, they're never going to be on Netflix. They're never going to be on Hulu anymore. That's fine. Hulu's going to lose all of that
then
stuff.
Then watch them on TV.
Who owns Hulu?
It's jointly owned by like Disney, Fox. Well, that's the one company now. Yeah. Comcast. There's like 3 big owners.
A conglomerate.
Yeah.
Well, either way, they're going to lose those shows, like all of that stuff that's on primetime television. Those other streaming apps are going to take all that stuff. Hulu's going to like crumble.
The Walt Disney Company with Comcast, which if you don't know, Comcast is NBC Universal. Yeah. So Walt Disney, which is ABC and ESPN. Yes. With Comcast, NBC Universal. As an equity stakeholder, owning 33%. So it's owned 66% by Disney and now Disney, Fox, ABC, and 33% by Comcast, NBC, Universal.
So again, what do they need What do they need Hulu for then? The only thing that keeps that afloat is the Hulu Live. And I think for cord cutters, that is bringing them back into reality.
Although I don't know why, because that's why antennas exist.
Yeah, it is different though. I have an antenna, but with Hulu Live, you could get that, but it's $41 a month when my antenna doesn't cost me anything. Yeah. Now that I have it.
But they might package that with Disney Plus.
Right.
So there you go.
And you can also get... It's gone then.
The whole other elephant in the room.
What's that?
Google.
What are they doing? They're
YouTube.
Well, yeah.
YouTube Live.
YouTube Live, yeah.
I mean, it's competitively priced with Hulu Live, I believe.
Is it really?
It's the same thing, yeah.
I've never looked into it once before. I was looking at some movies on there today.
They have some great looking original content.
I haven't really paid attention much to that either, but it does look.
Are you a YouTube subscriber? Probably not.
I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I don't have YouTube Red.
I think you have to have YouTube Red to watch their original content.
You do. Yeah. I can't watch any of it. I've just seen.
I mean, clips. Cobra Kai looks really cool, but they have a new show out that looks great. I can't remember what it's called. I'll look it up and bring it up on another podcast. But it's like winning awards. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be really, really funny. Really? So I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Wow.
And YouTube Red. The great thing about that for me is for $9 a month, so about the same price as Spotify. You basically get YouTube Music, which is Spotify or better. Which
is it? I don't like Spotify.
Oh, YouTube Music is great. So there's 3 big players, right? I believe Spotify, YouTube, and
iTunes Music
and Apple
Music
Beats or whatever. I'm far and away I've tried all three in trials, but YouTube blows them away because
does it really?
You get YouTube has not only they all have the same music, right? All music basically, but YouTube has its own catalog of like 26 million things that are YouTube only.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's artists that only produce for YouTube. Now I don't listen to any of those artists, but on top of that, you get a YouTube Red subscription free. So all your YouTube videos are ad free, and you get YouTube original content, which obviously I don't watch very much, but I think there's going to be more to YouTube down the road.
Yeah,
I think it's quite a cash cow for Google, but
I'll have to look into that because I was not happy. I've always had Apple Music and listened to it, but
Apple Music for me by far is the worst. Spotify is way better than Apple Music.
I don't like it very much, but
when I tried
Spotify
Apple
either.
Music, there was tons of stuff that they didn't have.
I don't have a clue how to work Spotify. I really don't. I don't really know how to work it. It always makes me shuffle play when I just want to play it in order.
Oh yeah.
And
see, YouTube Music's super user friendly, and it works with my Google Home.
Oh yeah,
which I like.
Yeah,
so,
I've got an Echo Dot.
Yeah, so you're stuck with Amazon Music.
Yeah, but I don't use that either.
Which comes, is that extra money or is that?
I don't know. I've never tried to use it.
Anyway.
No, you could tell it to play music and it does it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm assuming it's with Prime.
It's Prime, but they don't. They don't have the amount of different. Like YouTube Music, you can literally say any artist, any song, anything you could ever think of,
and it'll play it.
And it plays that exact, that song.
Right. So I'll have to look into it. It's been released that the new Watchmen TV show, that's coming out there on the HBOs. Jeremy Irons is going to play Ozymandias.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Confirmed.
Jeremy Irons.
Scar,
yeah.
Yeah, he's really great.
Yeah.
He's like an incredible actor. I think he's like world renowned, I believe.
In Jerry's world.
Yeah.
He's Jerry's world renowned.
He's really good. I think he'll be a really good Ozymandias. I wasn't a huge fan of the one in the Watchmen
No,
movie.
I don't think I was either.
He was
Although I love that Watchmen movie.
I do too. He seemed young to me, I guess, too young for the character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. If you
I
look
think he kind of looks like the character though from the comics.
The guy in the movie does.
Yeah.
Except did he have blonde hair? He did have blonde hair.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Jeremy Irons might be a little old to play Ozymandias, but
see, that's the thing. I think this is after the fact.
Oh yeah.
I think it's down the road. So he's an older Ozymandias.
He's a classical training at the British Old Vic
Yes.
Theatre.
I can't do it.
School. That's Scottish.
Yeah.
Jeremy John Irons is an English actor. Actor.
I'm an actor. Go ahead.
Do you have any more news?
Yeah, one more.
Okay.
Big one.
What's that?
There's literally nothing else to support this besides the fact that they announced that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
But Kevin Feige is reportedly going to produce a Star Wars film.
Oh, yeah. I have that on my list too.
Yeah.
Super exciting, folks.
He's going to create and produce.
Kevin Feige could be the biggest thing to happen to Star Wars since Darth Vader.
22 movies, right? Is it 22?
Something like that.
Fairly well.
Yeah.
I would say they've done fairly well. So I think it'll be pretty great. I saw an article that said that that Kevin Feige's Star Wars film will be the true last of the Skywalker saga.
Okay.
How that'll be, I don't know. They have literally nothing else on that. It's a complete speculation. They have no proof.
Yeah.
I don't believe that will be the case. Maybe it'll be a spin-off, like a Rogue One type movie. Maybe it's set in the same time period.
Yeah.
But I bet you it will have nothing to do with Skywalkers.
That'd be interesting.
Because I just don't know how they can pull them back into it after you just finished it with 9. I just don't think they would do that.
Right. I think it's gonna be big to get somebody that size. I mean, he's the guy right now in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
So what that tells me,
man.
What that tells me is they're like dedicated to making this Star Wars thing work.
It is working. I am not on board with any of these people that don't like Star Wars right now.
No, I'm not either.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I will take all the Star Wars I can get.
You are the people that are ruining this
You're
world.
going to stop it. You're going to ruin it for everybody.
Causing the ice caps to melt.
Like there was a time a year ago or 2 years ago where we were going to get a Star Wars movie every year for the rest of our lives. And you ruined it.
And you ruined it because you
whined and complained and said, oh, but I don't like that Star Wars. Guess what? Don't watch it then.
Yeah, you don't have to. And it doesn't ruin any of the movies that have happened prior to this.
And, okay, so what? You had a mediocre time for 2 hours? Guess what? Shut up. You got popcorn.
Did you like episode 1, 2, and 3 better?
Watch them.
No, you didn't. You didn't like those better. I don't care what you think.
Star Wars drama, by the way, this week.
How so?
Well, I mean, I read the article this week. I don't know when it occurred, but apparently there was kind of like a handshake agreement when Lucas sold the rights to Lucasfilm to Disney that, it was known that they were going to use his scripts for the trilogy of movie. He had already had them written. Not scripts, but like outlines.
Like outlines for...
It was his... I mean, this is his saga, right? So he already had it planned out to the end. He's had it planned for years.
Sure.
He had it outlined. This is exactly what was going to happen.
So the last two have been around his outlines?
No. That's what happened. When he sold, it was kind of an agreement. It wasn't in writing. It was an informal agreement when he agreed with the CEO of Disney and Alan Horn and some of the producers, when he agreed to sell the company, which was not an easy agreement. It wasn't like he didn't really... It was they had to really convince him, and that was one of their arguments. They said, we'll use your scripts. And he said, oh, okay, basically. And then he wanted it in writing, and they said, well, we can't obviously put that in writing.
Why?
Well, because, you can't sell a property to somebody and then dictate when they own it. It just wouldn't hold up in any sort of agreement in court. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
They can make that agreement, but how is that enforceable? It's just not going to work out.
Right.
So he agreed to that, and he's like, yeah, I understand that. But it was kind of an agreement that they were going to use it, and they didn't. They just went a different way completely. And apparently that pissed him off. Apparently he's pissed off about it. They did use some stuff, like Rey. The character of Rey was modeled roughly off of his outlines. Do you feel he had a character in there that was a Jedi killer, which they say kind of could be Kylo Ren.
So this could be a hot button issue, but do you feel like he still had it?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't think he ever lost it.
Do you think? even after episodes 1, 2, and 3, that they were on point with?
Yeah, I liked 1, 2, and 3. Some of the stuff about the individual productions of those movies, like dialogue and pacing and the cinematography, some of those things were weak.
Yeah.
But the stories weren't. I don't think the story was ever weak.
No, I don't personally. I'm just asking.
And I think it all fit in. The puzzle pieces fit in together. He had said in his outlines, the third movie, so episode
3, you're saying?
No, 9.
Episode 9 in the next ones, okay.
Was to go
back to Tatooine.
No. To like a microscopic level.
So he was going to go back into the midichlorian
Yeah,
thing?
I think so. Like he was like creatures that inhabit the Force at like a microscopic level. Not microscopic or like nuclear, not nuclear. What am I trying to say? Like
I don't know, like a biometric
quantum level.
Okay.
Like Ant-Man,
I'm not on board with that in the slightest.
I think it sounds cool, man. Like the Force.
That's not Star Wars.
The Force is an energy. So there's like actually like creatures living
energy
within that energy is basically what he was saying.
So then what the hell is the deal with midichlorians in your blood?
See, I didn't bump into that. And that's like one of the most hated things about Star Wars.
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying like that take right there takes away from the fact that he said it's in your blood to be able to use the Force. So you'd have to tie that back together.
No, because a person with a high midichlorian count can harness the force. I think what he was trying
harness
to
the animals that live in the force.
animals is a bad description. I think what he was trying to get at is the force is an energy that surrounds us.
And they've always said that.
Yes, but within that energy.
But it's like a living energy.
Yes, it's a living energy. And within that living energy, there are living organisms.
I'd watch that.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I would watch that. Now that you're describing it better than animals on a quantum level.
Yeah, I think like...
But like a living energy, I understand that. It is
and
interesting.
People are more sensitive to that and force sensitive. And
so I still think they could go that direction to where, you know, it's not a training thing that gives you the force. Everybody could harness this energy, because at the end of the last Star Wars movie, that little boy picks up the broom.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He it's
I
like
don't
the
like
very
that.
last scene.
I don't like that where
He
it's...
picked up the broom and he's ready to rock and roll.
I prefer it to be
And all
like
the
anybody
younglings,
can use the force maybe with like a lot of work. So like meditation and stuff like that and training.
Finding your
However,
power.
I feel like I like the idea better that certain people are more or less sensitive. So like I might be able to use the force a little bit to, if I really harness it, the best I could ever do is get like a wider general perception of things. But the guy next to me might be able to
pick up rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and rescue an X-Wing.
I like that.
I like that too. Maybe that is the way they're portraying it, and that little boy is just better at it than everyone else.
Yeah.
But I feel like in episode 3, when Anakin goes and kills all the younglings in the Jedi training school thing, I don't buy that. Like the whole Jedi training school for little kids.
Yeah.
That's saying that.
Well, maybe they're force sensitive.
Well, but that's saying that they were already born with that, and they've like collected them all, and they're starting.
They
to
have
train them up.
midichlorians, dude.
That's what I'm saying. But then they've abandoned that,
which
the
it
rest
totally
of the time.
isn't mitochondria.
It's not mitochondria. It's midichlorians. The Weird Al Yankovic has a song that's based around like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It came out on an album called Running with Scissors, and it's really good. It's like American Pie, but it says my this here Anakin guy.
Huh.
Maybe Vader someday later.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. But right now he's
Cheeky down.
It's so good. I love it. It's like 9 minutes long. Just like American Pie is.
So
that's all I got.
It's
for news.
That's an interesting and that's a good future for the Star Wars universe. We're going to do a whole show on Star Wars pretty soon to talk about the new movie and what we expect from it.
I don't care if
that
they
was the
told
other
me.
thing.
I don't care if they told me if it's all CGI, like terribly CGI'd. Shoot, why can't I think of his name now? The big worm.
Beetlejuice.
No, the big worm guy in
Dune.
Jabba the Hutt. I don't care if it's like all terrible CGI Jabba the Hutt. I'll go to the movie theater at midnight and watch it.
And I'll like it.
And I'll be like, man, that was a different take. Like, don't know if I'd go that route, but I like it.
There was going to be an exploration into the Wills, which was like the dude from Rogue One was a Will. So that was a Lucas thing.
I like that.
And that had more to do with that kind of quantum realm force, living energy thing that they got like through meditation and
like the blind guy you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was awesome. That was an awesome dude.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Oh boy, it's a name.
It's a name.
You can't remember.
I gotcha. I remember that.
Yeah, so I had one other news yesterday. In fact, September 25th was National Comic Book Day.
It was.
I
kind of surpassed that somehow.
So Brittany, who works in our office, she texted me like first thing in the morning. She said, it's National Comic Book Day, but you're probably already on top of that. And then I proceeded to get super busy at work and forget about it and not post anything. So sorry.
Yeah, I didn't either. We're not good at social media.
We need help.
We need help at social media.
Erica,
if any of you could,
Erica, you're now running our social media.
If any of you could donate your time and run social media for us, that would be phenomenal because we're just not that good at it.
So
I'm not anymore.
I got a bunch more stuff, but I don't know where we're at on time because we still want to do
45 minutes.
So we should get into what we're watching.
Yeah.
What have you been watching, Jerry?
So
I got 2 things myself.
What have I been watching? Oh, I also have 2 things. So the first thing might take a little bit, but I'll hurry up. Not rush, but I'll hurry up through it. It doesn't need to.
So just pick one.
No, it won't. It won't.
We'll talk about the other one on the next podcast.
It won't take that long.
Okay.
So the first one, because the second one just won't take me that long to talk about anyways. First one is a docu-series on Netflix, 3 parts. It's called Bill's Brain, Inside Bill's Brain.
Okay.
It's about Bill Gates.
Oh, okay.
And it's a docu-series. It's 3 parts. It's 3 hours of following Bill Gates around and learning about him. And I had no idea about this guy.
Yeah.
I just knew he like kind of created Microsoft, and him and what's that other guy, Paul Allen, and then he sold it, and he doesn't do that anymore. And I know he's like the world's richest man.
He didn't sell it, but he
just like stepped down.
He stepped down and he started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is
correct,
literally one of the most incredible organizations to ever exist.
So it talks so much about what Bill Gates does. So turns out this guy reads 14 to 15 books a week, and it shows him like reading, and it shows like him just sitting there reading, and he's always chewing on his glasses. He used to chew on pencils all the time, but then the doctor told him it's ruining your teeth. So now he like chews on the end of his glasses, but he'll be reading, and if you look at his eyes, it looks like he's having a seizure. His eyes shake like this.
Yeah.
Because he's reading so fast, but he retains everything. And you'll see him sometimes be writing over here and reading, and he's writing stuff next to him. The dude's an absolute complete genius from what they portray him as, and listening to him talk. And they asked him in the beginning of the first episode, said, "What's your biggest fear?" And he said, and he sits there for a minute, and he said, "My biggest fear," he's like, "for my brain to quit working."
Yeah.
And from that point on, it's like unbelievable. But he does so much stuff about world sanitation.
Yeah.
He's really concerned about like the third world countries and their sanitation, and it's in it causing diarrhea. So a lot of little kids and everything, like the main cause of death is diarrhea. And he thought that is so ridiculous that we live in a world where we don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Nobody even thinks about it. The only time you ever think about it is if you ate something bad or something, and it affected you. But other people are literally dying and losing their families because of diarrhea. So he had put out a big competition to create a new toilet that was self-sustaining. And so you went in it, and it would either like burn what was put in there and create water basically off of its own power, or it would just get rid of the sewage in itself into like ash, and then you could just spread the ash out, and it was fine. The one that ended up winning was the one that created water. It was like a whole plant that created water. But because the problem was you can't go into these slums and try to put in a sewage system. Like it just doesn't work. There's no capacity to do that. And then there's nobody there that's going to be able to run the treatment facility. So it had to be a self-sustained unit, and he's doing that.
Yeah.
Like they're being put in.
He's doing a lot. It's more than that. Like they've done a lot with AIDS, and they've done a lot with disease and vaccines. And
it's tons. And then Warren Buffett he gave $31 billion to the Bill and Melinda.
Yeah, it's like a serious foundation.
Yeah. And
we bumped into them a little bit when I was in Africa with Food Resource Bank doing some stuff. So they're doing some.
You bumped into Bill Gates?
No, like their foundation members.
I was like, why have I never heard this?
They do some sustainable agriculture stuff too.
Yeah.
No, but I have met and know Howard Buffett, Warren's son.
Really?
Who is big into the foundation. Warren Buffett gave all his children, Howard is one of them, who lives in Illinois here. Actually, he's a farmer in Decatur. Gave them each $1 billion basically to start their own charitable foundations.
Uh-huh.
And his is all centered around agriculture.
Nice.
Yeah. So I know him. I've met him several times. and he's an interesting guy. I think
Chris
he's
is a regular name.
I think he's now the sheriff of Decatur,
Nottingham?
whatever Decatur County is. He got,
really?
Yeah, he got elected sheriff now.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well, that's good for him. Well, anyway, that's the condensed version of Inside Bill's brain, and it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing that I would tell anybody that you have to go seek it out and watch, but it was definitely worth the time.
yeah, cool.
I thought it was super interesting. Yours?
I have one that I said I wasn't going to talk about too much until the season was over, but I can't help it. If you're not watching The Righteous Gemstones, get out of this world, man.
I haven't watched it at all.
So
it's
good.
HBO, right?
Yeah, it's on HBO. Righteous Gemstones. I won't go into too much detail other than it's a hilarious, unbelievably funny show, produced, written, and directed by Danny McBride with John Goodman and Adam Devine and Walter Goggins. And the last episode, which is the one that's a flashback episode, if you guys are watching up to date, or if you get to that, you'll know what I'm talking about, is unbelievable. It's stellar, and not only is it funny, and it there is some acting there from Walter Goggins.
Okay.
Do you know who he is?
I don't think
he was
I do.
in Justified. He played
the bad guy?
yeah, kind of bad guy, good guy, whatever.
Do you have a goatee? And I don't think I'm thinking of the right guy. I'll look him up. Keep talking.
Look him up. Walter Goggins. He's an incredible actor, but he plays kind of an unlikable character in this, but kind of likable in the same. But he's got some amazing scenery, scenes and dialogue. He kills it. Man, he kills it. He
really better than Danny McBride or John Goodman?
Yeah.
That's the guy I was thinking.
He is on a whole nother level in this show.
It's Walton
Goggins.
Yeah.
Incredible, and he's always been a great actor. He was amazing in Justified, which I recently rewatched most of, and it's worth watching just for him and this character. His name is Baby Billy Freeman.
Okay,
and
Baby Billy Freeman.
He was like he plays John Goodman's, who's like the head gemstone of this big evangelical church.
Yeah,
he's the brother of his wife. So John Goodman and his wife started this church, but him and his sister, Walton Goggins and his sister, were they were like famous when they were children as like singers in churches. They had tapes and stuff like that. And he plays this kind of like nefarious, he thinks that they stole, John Goodman's character stole his wife, his sister away from him. And that was his like meal ticket. Yeah. She was like the one but anyway, there's some really deep stuff with him, and he's such an unlikable character, but you can't help but love him. And the acting, though, is what I'm pitching. It's just incredible. So
okay, I definitely need to watch that then.
It's such a good show. It's great. The other one I've been watching, I've been catching up on the newest season of Shameless.
Oh, really?
I'm most of the way through it. I've seen all of them. I know people love this show. It probably deserves, now that it's on like 9 seasons.
I did not know it was still running.
Yeah, it's probably deserves a little more talk. It's been really not great for the last couple seasons. One of those where I'm like, I can't believe I'm still watching this show. And I don't even know that I fully caught the last 2 seasons. This new season, we'll get more in depth in it. It's more of the same. It's the show is the show. That's what it is. So
okay,
it's good at times. It's annoying at times.
Yeah.
This season is like outrageously undertones of like every political issue of the day.
They put it in
is
there.
like addressed in this with like undertones, not in a terrible way, but it's very, very, very left wing, which is fine. Not in a way that makes me not want to watch it. And, I'm not a political person to begin with. But so anyway, that's what I've been watching.
I've got one more.
Yep.
And it was the Zach Galifianakis movie called Between Two Ferns.
I watched that too. Most of it. I fell asleep halfway through.
I did twice. I fell asleep once and then I went back and watched the whole thing all over again the very next night. And it's exactly like the shorts that funnyordie.com does.
I really actually was enjoying it from what I saw, because I really feel like they gave Zach Galifianakis something to do when he's off screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's not the same character as he is in his shorts.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting, because I thought they were going to make it just like he is that like that all the time.
Yes, that's what I was so glad that they didn't
But
do.
like he's aware it's a character and he's not like a dick to everybody around him all the time.
I like just him talking about the celebrities and whatnot, and he's like, okay, well, I'll go and interview this guy, and he's just like, he's like okay about it. It doesn't really mean anything to him, but as soon as he sits down, he just fucking tears them apart, and it's so funny.
It's funny. It's
the stuff that he says is unbelievable.
It's not entirely necessary. It's probably not anything that you have to catch,
No.
but it's good for a couple laughs.
Yeah, it was a good time waster. I thought the
Will Ferrell is great in it.
Will Ferrell is that's what I was going to bring up, is amazing. He plays himself.
Yeah.
But he's like this coked out,
Yeah.
like,
Well, he
CEO,
owns
'cause he
Funny or Die.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like the coked out CEO that runs Funny or Die, and he's just worried about his clicks.
Yeah.
He always is carrying around this little ticker that just shows how many clicks he's getting. And he's like, you're not getting me enough clicks, man.
Yeah.
Because you killed Matthew McConaughey. And he's like, he's dead? Like, no, he's actually alive. It's fine.
No, it was good. I love, I can't remember her name exactly, but she's so good in everything. Lauren Lapkus, I think is her name.
Lipinski.
Laura Lipinski?
I think so. She's married to that chick you're talking about is married to Keegan Peele, Michael Peele.
Keegan Michael Key?
No, Jordan Peele.
Really?
Yes, she's married to Jordan Peele.
It's Lauren Lapkus.
Yeah, she's married to Jordan.
She's also in Crashing.
Check out her husband. I'm trying to tell you, and you're not listening.
Like check him out. Like check him out.
Check him out, dude.
She is married to Mike Castle.
Who's married to Jordan Peele? Because she looks just like her.
Jordan Peele's wife.
Yeah.
That's who's married to him.
Yeah. Who is that?
Chelsea Peretti from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's the secretary in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I was close.
She's also very funny.
Yeah, she
stand-up
is.
comedian.
She's a stand-up comedian.
But I
and
like
that's
that.
what
I
was
like
thinking of.
as an actor, I like Lauren Lapkus a lot. She's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She's really good. She's always super funny.
She's great in this. I
Yeah,
think she has a
she's-
really good
I
character.
think she's the best
funny.
one in the show, to be
Yeah.
honest. And yeah, so that's the brief.
We have reached the end, and it seems so quick.
Where are we at?
We're at 58 minutes.
I like it. So
And
we have a little bit
nailed
of
it,
time to
man.
talk about our Patreon, patreon.com/Snarf Comics. We have a brand new subscriber this week, guys. Ring that bell. Bang, 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 bang.
Bing, bing. Caleb Koss.
Yes. Great guy. And
Thank you so
I want to
much.
take some time to address our current Patreon subscribers. And I know we've been lagging. And this is a busy time for both of us for the next couple months. We're gonna get stuff out.
Yeah, that's not
But
like a cop-out.
We're
Don't
not
take that as a
gonna
cop-out.
get as much out. We're gonna get so much more out in the future, especially when we get into winter here, and we're
yeah.
really gonna be hammering this. We're learning here.
It's a learning curve. We're gonna get you your stuff. We've got stickers. We'll get you a shirt. We're gonna put together the bundle of Snarf.
Bundle of Snarf, but I'm just saying, like, we're gonna get more content out, more content on the wall.
Yep.
And we're gonna get more of these exclusive podcasts out as we have time. Just know,
And clips and videos, because
Yeah.
I was videotaping myself today, and
Yeah.
it was weird.
it's coming out. It's gonna be good. If you're listening right now, just go on there and just at least pledge $1. Come on, guys. You put your credit card in, it's $1.
It would help greatly.
Come on.
It really would.
All right, for Snarf Talk this week,
I'm Jerry.
I'm Chris.
See ya.
See ya.